In this video, we'll learn to format text, numbers, dates, fonts, and cells to enhance the appearance of a worksheet. Essentially, this video is about making the data that you entered look a lot prettier within your Excel spreadsheet. So first, one important thing you need to know is how to resize columns and rows to make sure you can see all the text that is displayed within a worksheet. There are three main ways to do this. Number one is if you go to any row or column and go to the right or the left side, you'll see this little pointer. This is indicating that you can drag out the columns to make them smaller or bigger. You can change the width. There's also an option to double click once you see that tool, and it will automatically size the cell so that all text in that column or row is automatically visible. That's called autofit. Finally, a last way is to click on whatever column or row you want to modify. Let's say it's row 6, and you can go over to our Home tab on the main ribbon, and over in this Format section, you can change the row height or use autofit row height. Autofit will make sure that all the text is automatically visible, but you can use row height or column height to actually enter a number of characters. So 15 letters is the amount it's currently set at. You could change it to any other number to make it wider or more narrow, and when you're finished, you would press OK. So the formatting tool is very helpful here for resizing. Another tool that's very helpful for making sure you can see all the text within a cell is this Wrap Text tool right here on the Home tab of the main ribbon. This makes sure that any content that doesn't fit on the first line of a cell will then be displayed on a second line instead of hidden. We've also got Merge and Center, which can combine individual cells into one big cell that will fit more text. So you can make individual cells combine together using this tool. A lot of the other tools on the Home tab of the main ribbon are just like they would be for Microsoft Word. We've got alignment here to left align, right align, center your text. We also have these tools here to align vertically within a cell, so if it's to the top, middle, or bottom of the cell. We've got text rotation here, text indents, color of your text, type of font, fill of your text, emphasis like bold, italic, underline, all the same as Word. One thing that's a little bit different for Excel than Word is you have all of these border options for each of your cells. In Word, you would have border options for tables, but they're more common to use within Excel because you can add borders to any cell in order to clearly separate your data. Sometimes if you want to copy formatting that you really like maybe you formatted a cell to look very nice and you want to use it in another cell, you can use the Format Painter. It's located on the clipboard as well as your copy, paste, and cut buttons. Copy, paste, and cut work just like they do for Word, but the Format Painter is used to apply the same cell formatting elsewhere. You use it by clicking on the cell that has the formatting you like, pressing the Format Painter button, and then selecting the new cell. I'll show you how to use that with an example. We're going to use all of these font tools and cell tools to make our monthly budget data look a lot nicer. We're going to follow these steps. First, I'm going to select all of the headers from A36 all the way over to E36, and we're going to change the text to bold, just like that, and add a thick bottom border. That's found in your border options, and I'm going to read until I find thick bottom border. It's right here. Now it looks a lot more like a header. Next, I'm told to select A37 to A48. Here's A37 all the way down to A48, and we're going to press the Merge and Center button for the first time to see what it does. Instead of that being a whole bunch of separate cells, now that range is all one very long cell. To make the text look better within it, it says to select that merged cell that we now have together from A37 all the way down to A48 and rotate the text up. So that would be found in your Rotate Text up, and then it also says Middle Align. So we're going to press this middle button to get it to the center of the cell. Finally, we're going to change the font to make it a little bit bigger. it says change the font to Arial Black size 20. So in the font options, I'm going to look for Arial Black. Should be near the top since it starts with A. And I'm going to bring this up to size 20. There we go. Finally, we're going to change that still merged range to have fill color purple. So this purple kind of fill that I've been using for all the boxes, we're going to use it in our table. Now it looks a lot better and more prominent that the month is indeed April. We've now completed up to that step. Next, it says to select cell B37 and change the font to bold color purple. So here's B, here's 37, loans. So change the font color, not the text, just the font, and make it bold. I'm then going to select B37 to E37, so B all the way across to E, and it says add just a regular bottom border. That's the first option. So this is going to be used to distinguish which ones are the loans in your monthly budget data. We're then going to follow the same steps for the other two categories, utilities and other. I'm going to click on the utilities in B40, change it to bold, color purple for the font, then select B40 to E40 and add my bottom border, the first option. Because we want to do those exact same steps for the other category, this is where you could use the Format Painter if you choose to do so. You could select the cells we just formatted that look nice, press the Format Painter button, and then select where we want to apply the same steps. It saves you some time. Instead of having to do all of the steps individually, we've now applied these text options to make the types and categories of the loan stand out. Next, we're going to use the indent button to say that mortgage and car are types of loans. It says use double indent, so increase the indent twice so that it's very clear that those fall under loans. They're within that category. And I'm going to apply this to everything within an individual category. All the cell references are listed there, but basically we started at B38 and we go down to B48. Finally, we just need to learn about formatting the numbers correctly. We have budgeted amount and amount spent. Those are both numerical values. We're told to select C38 to D48. That's this range in here. I'm going to change that over to accounting format. I do that by going to the number section of the Home tab and selecting accounting from the list of options. They will then be formatted very nicely using a comma to separate the hundredths from the thousands decimal places, and most importantly, a $sign. Earlier I mentioned that you don't directly type the units into the cells, and the reason why is you can get the units using the proper formatting. Finally, we can format the dates to be a little bit nicer. I'm going to select E38 down to E48 where the dates are stored and change them into long date format so you can actually see what day of the week your different payments would be due and what day of the month they're due as well. And that is the last step. I find that our monthly budget data is now much improved. If we look at what it looked like before, with no formatting, it was a lot harder to read and make sense of. Now that we've added formatting, it is a lot more clear and looks a lot better.